What is up, guys? So this is patterns part 2. So we'll just represent them again and just illustrate something more the sense that the map is not the territory, and talking a little bit about fractals and how it works. Now that's more, not a super scientific way, it's more forms, contemplating the forms, a little bit like the Greeks, like the forms, they bring you closer to the world in some sense, that they have a transcendence aspect to them that can bring us closer, and that people have a misrepresentation, of science. It's actually the Greek and the 12th century and 11th century, that it's actually monks in the Western society that actually bring the scientific method. It's not super scientific people that brought up that. It's actually more monks and religious people. They thought more that the forms will bring them closer to God in some sense. So I will illustrate also how, just bring it all back all together. So I guess the triangle, it's kind of the vertical, the hierarchy. It's more a male pattern. It's more control too. It's more, the unity, the DI and the OY. All the cycle. It's more the horizontal, the feminine, the multiplicity, the OE and the DE. So together they actually form some kind of fractals. Fractals more in the sense that, some fractals can be pretty complicated and not really what I'm illustrating here. More in the sense that the patterns at the bottom will be sensibly the same at the top, So the macro and the micro kind of illustrate here, Can see kind of the spiral here with the cycle, the kind of structure of ascension of the macro and going down with the micro. So in essence, it's actually more the hierarchy and the cycle. I kind of do that. And how we can kind of rationalize that. Us humans, it's more with duality, and we kind of square the circle, We square the cycle in a way. That's what we do. So we actually kind of do that. So we can say that this one here is the map, or right, the map. And actually the territory is actually there. Territory. So in some sense the circle is kind of the thing that we want to formulate, and we do it with the square. A little bit like the cycle is the feminine, like we cannot comprehend the feminine in the middle, the circle. So we try to do the duality, to square it, It's kind of, the duality can be seen as a square, And it lacks the corners, And that's why in science, they do a lot of stuff. Like calculus in some sense is trying to know the kind of go like a lot of little lines, kind of know the circle, apprehend the circle. In some sense, we can actually associate the map to science, and even some kind of religion too. But religion is more aware that there is a circle that cannot be so much described, that there is a transcendence aspect, and that the square is an interpretation in some sense, that it's not just observation and that's it. So that's just what I want to say. Let's say that you can come to a kind of, it's not really a good representation, but more that the hierarchy and the cycle together, they kind of create the 3D space. So the 3D is actually in some fashion, because it's kind of the vertical, the horizontal, and then together they kind of create that space, And in some sense, the duality also play part of it, because it's kind of the emanation, you know. You can see that some kind of unity or something, and after it's kind of create the line, you know. So it kind of form a duality, and after it got the circular aspect of the cycle, and after there is kind of an action, and that will create some sort of the 3D, which is still, you know, some kind of map that we do, that I'm doing right now. So it's kind of a thing that human have, you know, that we do the duality everywhere. We try to square the circle, and in some sense it can come to really something very, very accurate, something that can be, if it can be, you know, there's a repetition aspect, there's an explanatory aspect, but there's still limit to that square, you know. Kind of show you how it's also a square, but a good way in the sense of the form to really see in context, you know, how they relate to each other, and how, you know, the circle, something that is very difficult to come to. And you know, the fourth dimension is the space and time. That you know, the other one are too complex. I'm not gonna talk about that. So thanks for watching. I hope it was insightful to some degree. Remember that it's more in the sense of form. You know, it's not a scientific aspect. It's more a reminder too. With the map, is not territory, and how kind of fractals can help us, you know, be more accurate. You know, kind of sense that things have a relationship together. You know, the horizontal, vertical, cycle, hierarchy, the dualities. You know, even the non-dual aspect. Because you can see that to some degree the circle is a non-dual aspect. It doesn't mean too that the non-dual is superior. I mean, it's more transcendent, you know, it's more connected with the transcendent aspect, and it might be superior in some case, and it is superior in some case, but the duality are necessary, and you know, to live in the world you need to do some dualities. So that's my talk on it. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.